system.
You're not using OBS?
I'm using Streamlabs OBS tonight. I'm all about giving everybody a chance. Everybody needs a chance. Yeah, why not?
I'm eating cookies.
Don't be a hater. Don't be a hater now, son. All right, let's do this thing. Let's go. Let's turn this on. Main live. Jesse's feeling it tonight. Just before we got on here, just before we're getting ready to go live, you're going to have to lean in tonight. Just before we got ready to go live, Jesse says, nobody likes this. Nobody wants to watch this anyway. And I'm like, what? And then she says,
I'm not.
And then she said, look at you.
I would never
And then she
say
says,
that.
the only people who would find this entertaining are people who are starved. What would you say?
Starved for entertainment.
Starved for entertainment in quarantine. Welcome to the Bite of Brownie show tonight. Hey, so glad to have you guys here. I'm sure lots is going on in your world. Lots is going on in ours. We have many things going on, many experiments that we've been running in the last couple of weeks that we want to share with you guys, bring you up to date on. The thumbnail is not up yet because there wasn't a place for it in Streamlabs because we're experimenting again. Joshua, what's up, man? I'm hitting stuff tonight.
He says, a chance for what? A chance to give live Streamlab Doomiflachi OBS. That's the technical term.
Doomiflachi. That's the exact technical term of what I called it. Streamlabby's Doomiflachi OBS. We're gonna give it a whirl tonight. Gonna give it a spin. Now, are you done speaking blessings over the live stream? Are you ready to rock? Ready to do this thing?
Super positive.
What brought this all on was I was looking at my phone. I was like, oh, I want to let everyone know, all of you wonderful folks who are going to pop on tonight, I want to let you guys know that we're going to go live. And I said, man, I wish I had the community feature on YouTube to let everybody know that we're going live. And I said, well, I think you need like 1,000 subscribers or something like that, which is kind of a pipe dream at this particular point in time. Because when you're 15 years strong in YouTube...
That ship has sailed.
Anyway, we're just being goofy, but she starts speaking so many blessings over the channel.
Just full of positivity and light. Today.
So weird. Like, this is like the last 10-minute development. Jesse goes off the rails.
Super
off
optimistic.
The cliff.
Super
like,
hopeful.
No real, going smooth sailing. No real, concerns.
No.
And then the car starts weaving a little bit. And then before we know it, we broke through the guardrail. And we're sailing over the cliff. Yeah.
It's all very scary.
Debs! Hey, Debs!
Hey, Debs.
Girl, what are you doing tonight?
That was probably so loud.
It probably was.
Very sorry.
That's okay. I've punched the microphone like 3 times tonight.
I'm eating a
Let's
cookie.
tell them about some Betson?
Eat a cookie, Debs.
Oh, Debs, we're eating a cookie. No muffins tonight. No blueberry muffins with chocolate chips. Let's tell them about some of the experiments. No, I don't want. I'm trying to get that piece of hair that's floating around. Let's tell them about the experiments that we've been running.
We've been running experiments.
What's that? Well, tell me about them. What about them?
Scientific.
Very scientific.
Yeah.
Tell us about the scientific experiments that we've been running. Do this. Legit.
I have to chew
Tell
my
us.
cookie first. So you start.
I'll start. Let's see what Joshua says. 1K subs is coming for you, brother. Thank you for a little positivity, a little blessing up in this house. We need it. We're sailing off that cliff.
Hey, Henry.
Henry, what's up, man? What's crack-lacking? Saw you guys. Were you guys in the parking lot for Easter this
Our
Sunday?
parking lot?
No.
That's creepy.
No. Totally different states. You're a goob, man.
Messy.
You're a mess. So tell us. Let's do experiments.
Well, I've always wondered. Okay, here's the thing. Jared loves to go out to eat. Loves it.
Love it. Let's say why. Okay, so obviously I love food. I'm a connoisseur of fine food. Debs, you know that. Boom, fist pound. But here's the dealio. I don't like dishes. I like whenever you show up at a restaurant. I like the service. I like the people being people being super friendly to you, and I like that you don't have to wait long. Within about 20 minutes, it's gonna bada bing, bada boom. Then you roll out and you're done with it.
True.
I love eating out.
So he just likes he likes that, and hey Amy, he likes the
What's up?
the experience of just going somewhere and seeing people and ordering something different, and I do too. But at the same time, I'm more of an eat at home type of girl. I really like to eat at home. I love to cook. I love to try new dishes and stretch my culinary whatever. And
we don't do words tonight. Just get
I
them
don't
out of
have
here.
any culinary anything. I just throw
We
stuff
lost
together.
it. That's before
But
the quarantine.
I
BQ.
grew up in a fairly large family, and we always ate at home. Like, we ate out on Sundays, and that was it. And so,
And Debs, you know where I come from. Debs is my mom. She's in the chats right now. She's in the comments. And we ate out a lot. Mom worked late at night, and sometimes we had to fend for ourselves. And that was
never,
either
ever
diving in the freezer and nuking one of those hot
Swans,
pocket things,
Swan
hot,
Man or
those
whatever.
little Swans mini pizzas, and like whenever you bite into them, it scalds the top like
And
there's
then
a
you have,
layer
like,
of skin.
hanging down. Yeah.
Oh.
No, so we never ate. We never went out to eat except for on Sundays. And so I just always wondered what a month would look like.
And that would have been impossible.
With no eating out, which is totally impossible for us. Like,
no,
because
that's
of
part
the
of
church.
That's
and
part of my
everything,
job is meeting people for coffee,
we
going
just
out for
do.
lunch.
Like, we have tried this experiment before and have failed miserably because it's just not realistic. People want to meet, and when people want to meet, they will usually want to meet over food. So, and it's fun. Like, why wouldn't you want to meet over food? So anyway, we've never been able to successfully run this experiment until now.
Yes.
And so we have gone a full month.
One
with
solid month.
Not going anywhere.
No coffee
for food except for grocery stores.
No, I'm trying to think. Have we done coffee? No coffee.
No coffee. No restaurants.
No restaurants. One of us is paranoid still, even though like to-go places are open. One of us is nervous about the employees.
People to prepare my food.
Okay, so here's the deal. One of our friends thought that she was sick and thought that she had COVID-19, and she was still working at a restaurant, a fast food establishment, because she needed the money. No matter what everybody was like, dude, you need to quarantine. She didn't want anybody to know that she was sick, kind of a deal. And we're like, I wonder how many people are doing that.
You just can't trust people.
Because you got to pay the bills. Mm-hmm. Anywho.
So I wish I was like lived in town and was not high risk. I would hit up all my favorite spots.
Don Nico's is first on the list.
Oh, for sure. Like every day. I would totally do that. But we live 20 minutes outside town. I'm high risk. So we just have stayed home.
Yeah.
And we do grocery store curbside. He goes to Brookshire's, but...
And I have a theory. I mean, because big boy gonna eat. So, like, I think it's going to be pretty close to the same. I think that the numbers are going to be up there because even though I haven't eaten out, I mean, it's going to be less because you pay for convenience. Obviously, you pay for convenience. I mean, whenever I stop by Whataburger, it's like $10 for big boy to fill up type of deal. And she can do it for like 4 or 5. So I think it's going to be like in the 3/4 to half range. But do you have numbers on that?
My bank locked me out. So
come on. You've got one job to bring.
My bank locked me out. What am I supposed to do? You know, when you're supposed to change your password and you didn't, and then they were like, "No, you're not you," and I'm like, "But I am me."
But it's really me.
It's me.
Our bank. Shout out to anybody in the Stephenville area. We won't name any names, Interbank, but we are constantly locked out of Interbank.
Always.
Constantly.
Always.
Dude.
But anyway,
Interbank.
Based on the preliminary calculations in my mathematician mind, I think we're way underspending food if we just talk about food.
Yeah.
Because obviously there's some confounding variables. We're not driving. We're not going to movies. We're not going to coffee.
I'm bringing it up.
What?
I'm bringing it up right now, and then we're going to answer some of these
You're bringing up our bank account?
Right now, look at them.
On the live?
What are they going to do? They're going to read my eyeballs?
Can you log in? Go ahead and try.
Do what I want.
Anyway, I think it's way less. I mean, our grocery bill has gone up.
Don't look at the keystrokes. Don't listen to the keystrokes.
Shut up. Our grocery bill has gone up, but not to the... I don't think it's to the amount of when we go out to eat. We spend a lot of money on restaurants.
Check this out, babe.
A lot.
Check this out. Nothing. That's all my business. That's licensing. Oh, there's a stop at the convenience store. What's that called? Grocery store. What are you gonna guess?
I would say that my experiment is successful. I believe my hypothesis was correct. We spend less money by eating at home.
I'm gonna say she's right by a lot.
A lot.
I'm gonna go ahead and call it. All right, let's call it. I'm gonna say it's about a quarter.
Yeah, I think so. Okay, legit. I'm pretty sure we spend like $300 to $500 a month on going out to eat. Would you think that's right?
I would say it's north of that.
Because we pay for people. So
I eat out a lot. I eat out every
day.
Formerly,
Yeah,
every day.
And sometimes people pay for us. I'm not saying we pay every time. I'm not saying that by any means. But,
yeah.
I mean, if you add it up, like when we both go out to eat, it's $35 to $50. And if we go every day...
There you go. Experiment number 1, checking the numbers. It looks like we're at a quarter of what our eating out bill has been. Dining in is a quarter of what eating out is.
Yeah.
I mean, that's practical, like common knowledge. You all know that, but there are the numbers. There they are. They're in. She's right. I know a little bit more on mine. We're looking at my bank account, which right now covers both of them. But I eat out a lot more than that. I eat out once a day with folks. So there you go.
And then not to mention, in between eating out, we go to coffee.
Yep.
Which is $5
multiple,
a pop. Yeah.
And multiple times a day,
That's
too.
a lot.
Because
that's a lot of money we're saving.
Like, if you go to Beans and Frank's, we have a local shop here in town, Beans and Frank's, or if you go to Lincolnville Country Store, you want to get, like, the drip coffee or the house coffee because you're going to be there for a while and you're going to be re-upping quite a few times. Yeah. But sometimes one of us is a diva. And one of us likes to have that, like a little mocha with some whipped cream up on top, a little chocolate drizzle on top there. Just suck it right down.
I get the drip.
I get it. All right, let's answer some of these comments. We'll go into our experiment number 2. A chance for what? Hey, let's see. Debs, 1K, cute t-shirt. Thanks, Debs. See, the thing is that, like, I'm just trying to wear... I'm trying to wear the same thing.
Me.
Pretty much. I'm joining Joshua's theory of if I wear a black shirt every day, then you don't know what's going on. Also, we're filming... What does that say? Whatever floats your goat. Oh, you're a mess.
That's a Debs special.
Filming multiple times a week, Debs. I know you were talking about my shirt, so that's why I'm wearing black. That way, there's continuity going on.
The only downside is that your background is black.
I'm blending in, super stealthy.
And I just look like a glow of like white alabaster over here, so I just kind of light you up a little bit.
You're the light of my life, girl. Yeah, you are. Okay, Amy says, excited to catch y'all live. Excited to have you here live for as long as you can stick around. Josh says, I so needed to see your faces tonight. Can't tell you how good it feels to see. Man, thanks, dude.
That's really sweet.
Miss ya. I hope we're going to be live on Thursday. I'm looking forward to hanging out and chatting with you, catching up. Yes, we were. It was amazing, says Henry. He and his church had one of those like drive-up services. I didn't get to catch it. I just saw them in the parking lot getting after it. It looked like it was going to be amazing. There were so many, and that's a side note that we were kind of talking about. Speaking of experimentation, experimenting with online ministry has been a trip. I think on Sunday, that was the most exposure churches have had online, at least in Facebook, ever. I mean, I know it's Easter Sunday, and that's kind of what Facebook is doing, presenting what people want, and the churches went out in mass, and people were sharing stuff, but my entire feed was a solid church service from 50 different churches. Was y'all's the same? Like, I just opened up Facebook, and it was every variety of every...
Mine was family Easter pictures. That was mine.
Like one family.
Probably all your friends are pastors.
Good point. It's probably really...
I saw a few. I saw Cowboy Church and what's the name of that other one?
I miss Cowboy Church.
Timber
I really wanted to see that one. I missed Timber Ridges as well. Who did I see? Saw Henry's was on. Saw Josh was on. Saw oh my goodness, brain farts all around.
That's your brain.
Yeah, totally. That's where my brain is. Trey's.
No.
Trey's group, Passion Creek.
Just me.
Shh. Hey, buddy, don't bark.
It was me. It's my fault.
No. Once he gets started, like, it's over.
Don't do it.
He just starts building himself up until he starts screaming. Anyway, lots of church services going on Sunday. Deb says, and you were raised eating out. That's from a mama. Straight from the horse's mouth. Yes, I was. That's what we did. That's how we celebrated birthdays. That's how we celebrated life.
Always home. Always home.
If we got the clan in town, most families, like, they'll gather around the table, which we did that. We do that for, like, Thanksgiving and stuff. But we would kind of find out where the person's favorite restaurant was, and we would go, like, Mary's or someplace like that.
We do that
to celebrate.
now,
Yeah.
me and you. And that's fun. Like, I like to go out to eat. Like it's a treat for me that carried over from my childhood. Like it is a treat for me to go out to eat, and it still kind of is because he gets to go out to eat during the day, but I'm at work, so I don't go out. And so we love to go out for birthdays or date nights or anything like that.
Yeah.
I like it. It's fun.
I wonder if that's something that will die with the quarantine, though.
Going out to eat?
Yeah. Because, I mean, you realize how much you go out to eat. Like, it's a part of everyday life when you're in town because you're on the go. You need to stop by, what is that, Taco Bell, grab it. We got to go to the next meeting, that sort of thing. But when you're at home and life has slowed down quite a bit, you're like, man, that's a lot of eating out. That's been experiment number tray, which we need to wrap up number 2 with online ministry and things like that we've been trying. But number tray is being able to, like, walk and hydrate and kind of focus in on diet and that sort of thing. So my experiment during this quarantine was to try and throttle back on chocolates and sodas and anything else that was bad, because I'd been doing really good there for a while. And how did that go? If you caught the live stream on Sunday night, if you're part of the church, if you guys are part of the church fam, we were making blueberry muffins with chocolate chips. That part has been a drastic fail, but...
Well, when Jared's a creature of habit, so when he makes something he likes, he wants to keep
make it every
making
day.
it.
Every day.
And he wants it every day, and I get that because there's certain things that I want every day, you know. So we did blueberry muffins for a while, but I think you're over that kick.
Well, how's yours going? We've been walking every day. We were doing the Pray 100.
I really thought I would be a lot better. Like, I thought, oh man, I'm going to smash out some miles, and I'm going to spend my mornings...
You've been hanging out with me too long.
Oh,
smash out some miles? Since when have you smashed out some miles?
Never, apparently. Like, high school was the last time I smashed out miles.
Get it.
You know, honestly, if we're going to be real here, I kind of thought that I would spend a lot more time in my daily devotionals. Mm-hmm. Like, have dedicated... I mean, I don't have to be anywhere, obviously. Like, I have to be at my computer, but my computer's mobile, so... I really thought I was going to spend, like, a lot more quality time in my mornings with God, and I have not done that. And not that I'm spending less time. I'm not spending any less time, but...
Just figured it would be substantially
a
more.
lot more, and it's really not. And I'm not disappointed in myself because it's just a goal I set for myself. I didn't feel like God said, you must do this. So I'm not disappointed or shamed by it, but I'm just kind of surprised. I kind of want to be, I just want to be a little better about it. I think it's important to my mental, I know it's important to my mental and my spiritual health. I get real snippy when I'm stressed. And
I'm not saying yep, could you?
Well,
I'm saying,
he's
yep,
the
for
only
me.
one here. It's the dogs or him, and so he's the only one that can answer back. So
No. You're a joy and a wonder.
That's sweet.
I know, for real.
I'm snippy.
For real.
You're very sweet.
It's so weird how this quarantine, we're not going to go into a love fest right here, but it's weird how this quarantine has, like, really highlighted our issues. And not to go down a negative path or anything, but, like, I'm fully aware of, like, the frustrations that I have now, or, like, how I medicate with either TV or want to shut things off with a walk, or I want to get away because I don't want to deal with a certain issue or something. And it's like glaring me right in the face because there's nothing to medicate with. There's not sports. There's not entertainment. There is, but I'm aware of it this time.
Yeah, you're stuck with yourself all day. So
It was a couple of days ago where Jessie, we've been filming.
Oh my gosh.
We were filming her. We were editing her. We were posting her videos for a class online. She's like, I'm so tired of looking at myself. I'm so tired of my voice. I'm so tired of it.
Well, I had 3 assignments due on the same day, and they were all videos, which is not a big deal. But, like, sitting through, like, oh my gosh, I talk so much.
She left. I was editing, and I had it in the speakers, the surround sound. And she starts screaming from the kitchen. She's like, tell her to shut up.
Make it stop.
Tell her to shut up.
Just
stop talking.
Because I'm like, okay, that's all. I'll see you guys later. And then I start talking again, and I'm like, oh my gosh, end it.
It was such a trippy experience because she's talking on this video, and her own voice is coming in. Stop talking. It's like an inner conscience kind of a thing. Just stop talking.
I talk all the time, but I don't get to watch videos of myself talking, and so right now I'm getting to watch myself back before posting stuff, and literally videos that that were 30 minutes, we cut down to 7. And I'm like, Jess, that's ridiculous. If you can say what you said in 7 minutes, then shut your mouth. I talk so much.
So the whole thing about spending more time with the Lord, I can identify that one.
Yeah.
Going back to that, because it actually rounds out point number 2, or experiment number 2, where we're trying new things online. We're trying to create a place, particularly for our church, to connect and still be nourished and still experience and encounter the Lord, like, as live and in real time as if we were in the room with them. And we're just trying to come up with creative ways and talking with people like Josh, other pastors out there, to figure out what people are doing to do that. And I've gotten caught up in, it happens to everybody, it happens to me quite a bit, but just the demand of work and schedules and like production kind of a deal. And I really thought this time was going to be a time of Sabbath rest. And don't get me wrong, Sabbath rest to me doesn't necessarily mean doing absolutely nothing, like ceasing work, but an enjoyment of his presence and a seeking of his will and his will alone, above like making sure that you're reaching the world, like all the things that sound good, like now's our time to get out there with video and we could really conquer, and all those things are good and whatnot, but not from a place of working really hard, but from a place of rest. I just assumed that I would spend, like you were saying, more time in the morning waiting upon the Lord to instruct my day, rather than I've got 10 minutes before we need to go live and we need to go over there and make those graphics for the church on.
Well, Henry just asked if we were creating more. Yes and no. We're doing a lot more live, which requires obviously no editing. So that saves a lot of time.
You guys know what I'm talking about.
But yeah, I think he's creating more because of just the graphics like he was just talking about, the graphics he uses, and the Sunday videos. Those are really involved. Like getting, what is it, 4 households on like the same page. And
with no real
in at the same time.
Yeah, all these. So we're in video, but some of the other folks that we're working with, like our worship team, her dad, some of the other guys, they're not video people. So even getting the right orientation, or having them like having the sound show up, or having to work on transitions and things,
and even like internet capacity or capabilities.
Yep.
Like we bought our internet knowing that we do video. So,
and not everybody has.
Not everyone does that, because everyone else just browses the internet, and you don't need super fast internet for browsing. And so it's like, just help like getting people to upload. They did start the upload on time, but it never uploaded. So now Saturday morning at 3 a.m. we're waiting for a video to upload so Jared can edit it by Sunday morning at 10:30. It's
it's a
oh my.
It's a bit of a mess. We've been doing some experimenting as far as like, we want more of the church to be involved in the service. So we want to hear from like, the Lantings and the Whaleys and the body. We want them to mail in their videos, but whenever they do, it takes a little bit of time. So we're trying to figure out a flow there where it is from a place of rest and joy and celebration, rather than like
producing.
Where's your video? Because I got to go to bed. It's 5:00 in the morning.
And my experiment, I've always had a fascination with technology and doing stuff online. And I've always wondered if I could be happy working from home online, because I also really like people. So I've always just kind of like, I've never really like thought about taking the leap, and there's been certain times in my life where I had the opportunity to take the leap to go online, but it hasn't ever worked out. And then now I really love my job and I really love where I'm at. So it's like, I don't want to leave for a possibility of it might be good, you just, I'm in a good spot, blah, 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 back and forth.
You guys know. You're just curious. What else is out there?
Just curious,
Could
exactly.
I do that?
And so this has been a really good experiment for me, because I'm at the job that I want to be at, and I'm getting to do it at home. So I've been really surprised at how much I like it.
She loves it.
I love it.
She loves it. And we said this probably last live stream, but she's business up top during the day, party down low kind of a thing. So PJ pants, business, hair all done.
It's interesting because I'm a very structured person. I like structure. But at the same time, I value my freedom in time. I really value time. Like, if you want to pay me in time. And so, like, I still have a structured day, but it's structured the way I want it. And I love it.
And you've already changed some stuff around, like live videos that nobody was showing up for. So some of you pastors out there, if you have groups that nobody's showing up for, on the live sessions, just making a video through pre-recorded through Zoom or something, going through the content, and then just leaving it up or reposting on Facebook or whatever.
Yeah, it's like I was getting up early and getting ready and making sure I was all ready for this 9 a.m. class, and no one was showing up. And it's like, not out of anger or anything. I'm just like, hey, if no one's showing up, I'll just pre-make the video, post it for them, and remind them that it's there, like send them a push or whatever. So I really like the flexibility and the freedom of it. I do miss the social aspect of like coffee dates and date nights and church and stuff like that. I miss that, but as far as work goes, I'm having a great time. I love it.
And we've said this a million times over, but as far as the church world goes, we're changed forever. And I'm not saying that church won't try and go back to the exact same rut that we were in before, but this is different. God's doing a new thing. I don't think we're going to be allowed to go back to what it was. And I'm going to put my words together delicately, but I think it was broken. I think we'd gotten a little caught up.
Stifled.
Think about how creative the church is being right now in reaching people. Creative and a half. We got stifled into the same programs of how do you get everybody into a stadium? How do you pass out a track? How do you, like, all that dumb stuff. And now God's doing stuff his own way, and he's using people. Think about it. Pastors are considered non-essential personnel. Well, at least in my city they are. We're non-essential personnel, but the janitors and the stock keepers and the policemen and the nurses, those guys are essential personnel, and they're able to go places and minister to people that I am off limits to right now. It's like, this is the time, man. And okay, I'm getting on my soapbox. I need to get off my soapbox. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, well, there's a time for the things that he was just talking about, stadium meetings
there will
and
be again.
tracks and
Totally.
stuff. Like, there's a time and a purpose for all of that, and not that it didn't serve its purpose, but like, our world is changing daily, not yearly or every 5 years like it was in the 90s.
I'm about to fast forward.
Yeah, our world is changing daily, and like, we've been slowly approaching these changes. I feel like with the school moving to online, we have been very slowly transitioning to that because people really aren't used to it. They don't really have blah, 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 blah. And same with the church. Like, obviously, Vlog Pastors is becoming a little more popular, but it's been slow, it's catching on, but it's slow. And this quarantine has, like, catapulted us into this world where we have to.
You have to.
We have to do this online or we will not survive. Well, we'll survive, but
no, the church is always going to survive.
We won't thrive.
Yeah, the church is always going to survive. The church is always going to thrive. But like, we do need to be pruned from time to time. We do need to be reshaped. And the stuff that it doesn't produce anything or that is our own kingdom building, God's going to squash. And so this has been a phenomenal time, because all the stuff that I've been telling her about for months, like, hey, I tell you what, I don't know what they're going to do with all these buildings whenever the colleges realize that they're going to go online.
Right.
And everybody says, yeah. What are you talking? 20 years down the road.
Years.
That gap just shortened now, didn't it? Oh, wait a minute. So we can pay teachers and they can do it online, and we don't have to eat up space and air conditioning and electricity. And wait a minute. Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome to the party.
And I think there's always going to be a place for face-to-face interaction. There's obvious advantages to face-to-face interaction.
Totally.
I've been researching this. I will spare you the details.
Especially for the church, by the way. Go ahead.
But there's value in face-to-face. There's just different things that you get from face-to-face interactions that you won't get from online. And they can substitute things to make it feel like you're together, but you're really not.
Well, we're experiencing it right now. Like, I want to be sitting in Josh's living room. I want to be hanging out with Amy and her husband. I want to be eating my mom's blueberry muffins with chocolate chips. I want to be meeting Henry's wife. I don't know who Helen is, but she's about to hang out here in just a second.
They're interacting with us, but we look at them when we're ready to look at them. So it's not really like it is, but it's just different than a face-to-face. Because if we're sitting face-to-face and I talk over you, you're going to stop talking.
Maybe.
Or tell me to shut up.
Maybe. Let's answer some of these questions.
Yes. And we need to scroll down, too, so I don't miss anything.
Okay. What's up, brownies? Yep. Excited to catch y'all live. I got to go back up here. You know me.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, we were here. It was amazing. Raised eating out. Wow, that's impressive. Still, okay, so Josh says, wow, that's impressive. Still can't do that with the quarantine. Reagan wanted Buffalo Wild Wings for her birthday.
Oh, well.
So I went and got
you
it.
gotta
At
do
a
that.
boy.
You
yeah.
have to do that.
She forgot. She had, what wasn't Wild Wings? It was Wingstop the other day. Her parents, we'd gone down there to do something. Film or something like that. So she went inside to see how our parents were doing. Don't tell anybody. But she went inside to see how her parents were doing, and they had just picked up Wingstop. And so she's chowing down on some wings before she remembers
that I'm not eating food that people prepare. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to get bad. Whatever. That's fear.
Don't listen to the keystrokes. Yep.
We don't live in fear, guys.
Yeah. Trust me. Josh, there's nothing in there. There's nothing in that bank account. Jared, just think of how much gear we could buy
and me for coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We would spend it on coffee. Jesse's coffee intake. Let's see. Jared, just think of how much.
Coffee?
I don't drink coffee.
Okay. Sure.
I don't drink coffee. Somebody had a tantrum today because this was this guy.
Oh, okay.
Because somebody else made coffee. And whenever I went to the coffee pot, there was only like enough for half a cup. Now I'm like, let me just ask you, who would do such a thing? Who would make enough coffee for yourself and then for the next person to have...
I'm going to tell you something.
Just a beep. Just a little tort.
It's worse than that.
Did you drink two? What?
It's so much worse than that.
What? I'm
You're
nervous.
You're going to hate me.
What? What did you do? What?
I didn't want the leftover morning coffee, so I made a 1-cup pour over for myself while he was on a walk.
Anybody have an open bedroom? Spare beds, anybody?
It was very selfish.
I'm coming over.
I'm sorry.
For real?
I was cold and I wanted fresh hot coffee.
Okay. You're a punk. You're
Thanks.
such a punk.
Thanks.
Okay, Josh says, Jesse, just think of how much more coffee you can buy with those savings. Yep. Shirt and hat matches.
Yeah.
Did you plan that?
Look at that. No, we didn't.
Not at all.
Good
catch, Helen. There could be a church at every home. Yeah. That's awesome. Tonight we did Bible study on Facebook and Zoom. Dude, you're killing it out there, man. Keep it going.
I like Zoom.
As long as it's not work for you, brother. Brain farts. Dude. Josh, that's a real thing. Genevieve! Hello, Genevieve. Hello from Texas. I'm hoping, I was just thinking about you guys today as I was walking. I was thinking, as soon as this is over, there was a small trip planned, and I don't know if that's ever going to come about, but it sure would be nice to head up that way, because I think there's a skydive. I don't know if we're allowed to say that.
I'm not doing that.
Somebody is potentially jumping out of a plane. Not this guy. Yep. Okay. Henry says, I saw your service and Josh's service. They were awesome. The advances churches are going through proves we may not be in the building, but are always in his presence. Dude, yes.
That's a good word.
Yes. That was fun. Like ours, the only thing I saw for that entire video was that Jesse and I were in that little orchard area. It's a pecan orchard thing. And we were supposed to take communion with him. And so we went out there. We sat down on a blanket. Good idea, by the way. I think ours was the blanket. Had like a little picnic set up.
A picnic basket.
A picnic basket. And we had communion. And we did our best to try and invite people into an encounter and experience via video. So we just had our own,
we had wine.
We had wine. We're not wine drinkers.
Don't drink wine.
We don't drink wine.
I was glad he cut it out because my face was like...
Both of us were like, "Oh, okay, why?" Anyway, it is what it is. But like I'm so paranoid of this stuff. I'm pouring it. Some people love it, but I'm pouring it, and it's like that's probably enough. It's probably enough of the blood. So I saw your he said where you read that one. Do you find that you are creating more? Jesse answered that one. Message retracted. Oh, come on, cool boy.
He said 26. Hi. He said hi.
What's
I saw
up,
it.
Man? Hello.
I saw it. Can't hide from me.
I can't imagine pulling everyone in like y'all are doing. It's amazing.
They're getting really good. Joshua says he can't imagine pulling everyone into the Sunday videos. Everyone's getting really good. They're getting better.
Dude, yes.
Like, not at the videos. They were always good at the videos, but just like figuring out how close to stand to the camera and when to start trying to upload it and stuff. Like,
it's a pretty fast learning.
Better.
Yeah, it's a pretty fast learning curve. The first probably 2 weeks, pretty painful, but not. I mean, it didn't take away from the spirit of what was going on. Like, it was just so good in those times to see, Dave's face or Casey's face or the Ogles worshiping with their babies climbing all over and stuff. It was just like, oh, miss your face so much that it's good. But what we noticed in like those weeks where they were reporting back to us saying, we didn't like the sound, we didn't really like the way that we looked. Is there a way that we can maybe tweak this a little bit? Yeah. And so, a few pointers like get in front of a window or find a mic and put it right up close to your mouth.
Or get a tripod or
tripod. It's gone a long way.
You guys know.
You guys know. We talk like they all make videos. You guys know.
If you don't know, just ask. We've done all the research.
Yep. Amy says, yes, I agree. I don't know what you're agreeing to.
That was about the church. Oh. Online church.
There we go.
I'm trying to keep up with you guys as you're putting them up there so that I don't forget.
You're the best. You keep an eye on this. Debs, you love this way of church. Yes, you do. Yeah, you do. This is like, I don't know. This was made for you, Debs.
Honestly, same. Like, I think it was was it Friday or Sunday? It doesn't matter, but I'm sitting on the sofa with my blanket, my dog, my coffee, and my pajamas on a Sunday. I'm like, this is amazing. I love this. Like, I'm living my best life. Like, Sundays are work it's work. We have to, it's a job. I mean, it's more than, it's not just a job, but it is, we have to provide stuff for the people. So it is work. And, we go into God's presence and it doesn't feel like work when we're there, but there's a certain amount of like nerves going into it and making sure everything's good and all this stuff. And so like just on a Sunday morning watching the fruits of his labor on the TV while I sit on the sofa is kind of nice.
There are perks. I mean, as we're going to say a million times over, like the church is always going to be the church. We're always going to find reasons to get together. This thing won't last forever. Mm-hmm. We're going to hang out. We're going to worship Jesus corporately. That's just how it is. I don't think video's going anywhere though. And I don't know yet, but I think there's going to be a different vibe when we come out of this thing. I think, okay, I'll tell you first order of business. All I've expected out of anybody in the congregation, the maximum so far has been like, bring the coffee or don't forget the cups or like, could you get some toilet paper or something of that? We're out of paper towels. Oh, you want to serve in such and such area? Knock yourself out. Go for it. The more the merrier. Not anymore, because now I see what people are capable of. People are coming up with all sorts of like presentations and Bible studies, and they're sharing their faith with their friends. And it's like, never mind. We're just going to fan the flame of however all that's working out. We're going to figure out how that works.
I'm really curious. Like, I don't think video is going away, and just curious how it gets incorporated into.
I am too.
We'll go back to church. Like, we love church. We'll go back to church, but like, are we all gonna sit there and watch your sermon together? Or?
Yeah, I have no idea. Like I said, God hasn't defined it yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if we just had hangouts. Like on, just change it. Like Saturday nights we go hang out, but Sunday morning is a video or a vlog or I don't know. Who knows?
We'll see.
Who knows? Yet to be defined.
The sky is the limit.
That's the cool part. The sky is the limit. And you don't have to feel bad. That's another amazing thing to me, is that all of the shame and all of the judgment has been broken off. And we get to celebrate. My mom's like, this is my style of church. And we get to say, unabashedly, this is my style of church too.
Yeah, I like it.
Wearing pajama pants, hanging out with people. I mean, like, people longing to be there, I don't know how many times we were literally walking down the ag road today. I don't know how many times we've heard, hey, can't wait to come to your church. I want to come to your church on Sunday. Hey, we're going to be there on Sunday. No, you ain't going to be there on Sunday. You're never going to be there on Sunday. You promised till the cows come home you're going to be there on Sunday. But for some reason, in this environment, people are there on Sunday. Mm-hmm. They want to be there because it's a click away rather than hopping in the car. The pressure of seeing people. There's a lot of
obstacles. To coming to church. Like, that's what I was talking about earlier when I said it's a job. It's not just a job, but like, there's a lot of obstacles in getting to church. And I think if it's your first time at a church, there's even more obstacles, because that's scary to go into a place where people know each other and you don't. Yeah. Like, I can't imagine walking into a place where they're basically family. Yeah. And you're not. It would be very nerve-wracking. So I feel like this is such an like non-invasive way to try new churches. And then, like, once you get to know...
I'm going to multiple services a week.
Yeah, like, you get to kind of try out, like, a appetizer or whatever from each of the churches. And then when you find one that you think you'll be comfortable in, you walk in and you see faces that you're familiar with.
You're already
Yeah,
recognizing.
I love it. I think it's really neat because
You already know, like, and trust, Josh.
yeah, it's pretty
Okay.
cool.
Love the way this church. Amy says, "Me too, Debs. Love being able to watch multiple messages." Yep. Me too, and I love. Mom says, "What? Me too, and I love being able to watch different churches at different
Yeah.
times, not just Sunday mornings at 10:30."
Right.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep. Same
And that's
thing.
another thing is like we choose 10:30, and that's a really popular time to meet. And some people work nights and they can't do 10:30, or some people work Sundays so they can't come on Sunday. And
I will say I love. So we do a premiere at 10:30, and I love watching it with a handful, or at least a quorum of our body at the same time, because we get to kind of interact as it's playing live and say, "Oh, did you see that?" or "What what do you think the Lord's saying about that?" That's kind of fun. That's an element that you kind of miss whenever you watch it back on replay, because you do see the people popping up, but it's like, eh. So I like to watch the premieres if I can, but like you said, we hit the most popular time and we have to end up going back and watching all the. Okay, Helen says, "Great thing is that you get the opportunity to watch again and again and again after you've seen it live and replay the praise and worship." Yep. That's so true. Although I haven't really rewatched. I haven't really rewatched very many. There's just so many to see right now.
Of ours?
Of anybody. I haven't gone back and watched multiples. Have you? That's gonna be a no. That's a solid no. Just in case you guys are wanting to learn how to read Jesse's face, it's a no.
I was thinking, but if I'm thinking that hard, then that's a no.
Opportunity. Helen says, "Those who struggle to get into church but still want church, we have it." There you go.
Yeah, I love that.
Hey, Doug, what are you doing up, man? I don't know what time it is your way, but I've been thinking a lot about how we do.
Night? No,
I have no idea.
Morning?
I caught your podcast today, dude. Yes, and amen. I've been thinking a lot about how we do church after this, and we are now connecting with a lot more people online than off. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's got to be a physical element to it, but there's just such opportunity right now. The field is white for harvest, literally. I think that's been awesome because, like, we're realizing how hungry people are for the authentic gospel. Like, there's no more barriers. And that's on both ends, like barriers for people coming in to church to see what's going on, and barriers for people sharing their faith. There's no more barriers.
Well, if you think about, for me, what is brought to my mind is like, if I need to contact a business, I don't want to call them. I don't want to go in. I want to get online, and I want to chat with someone or find it on their website.
Sure.
I don't know why. But it's just easier, it's faster, I don't have to wait on hold, whatever. And so why don't we do that? Why don't we make it as easy as possible for people to hear from God and hear from people who hear from God? I don't know.
Oh yeah, I don't know. There's a multi-part answer to that, which I'll never be able to get. But I would say we're highly relational. We're not just exchanging a product or a good or a service, but we're a relational people. And so a lot of that's going to be, did the person hit it off with, Stacy on the comment box as she was praying for.
And I think it's both. Like, obviously it is a relational business. And so I think there does need to be an online experience as like a touch point. And then the church that meets is the relationship.
Okay, so you're saying like online is the outreach, is the exposure, and the Saturday night hangouts, family worship,
Sunday lunch,
smashed in the presence of Jesus sesh is Sunday lunch. Just got delivered from going out to eat all the time, and now we're going. But Don Nico's. Luke says totally. I watched the church we attend in Little Rock and the church I went to. Yeah, man,
that was cool,
dude. That's awesome. Staying connected with all
that was a cool church.
When where was Leilani? Leilani was somewhere. I think she was back in the dorm. She was taking. Anyway, she used to watch church online quite a bit. What are you doing?
My feet's hurt.
Oh, you're tapping me on the shoulder like wrap it up.
No,
I take bits.
We are getting close though. We're close to an hour.
Oh, we better get after it. I take bits from the services to add to my prayers. Awesome stuff.
That's neat.
The church should no longer be considered location specific. Definitely, Doug. Dude, I mean, we all know that the church is a living organism. It's people, it's relationships, it's the kingdom. Yeah, but there's just like a new awareness of that. I think you're right, man. There's a shaking of we don't dwell in those goofy buildings, and we don't look a certain way. We don't dress a certain way. Right now we're all in pajamas hanging out online.
I like your idea of the outreach. That was neat. I thought that's what you were talking about. Like never mind.
No, I just
No, we're
assimilating the. No, we're good.
Moving on.
I'm willing. I just drawn a blank. Helen says, "How can we make it easier?" That's the question. Yeah, everybody's got a story, and that's our big deal. Like, that's the whole reason for Bite of Brownie. The Bite of Brownie is our perspective. It's like our lives looking at what Jesus is doing. It's our snippet of this is who God is, and this is how much He loves you. And I think everyone in the world has that story. And I think finding your medium, whether that's writing, whether that's pictures, whether that visual type sharing of that story. I think you have a story to tell, Helen, and I think there's an audience that God has ordained that you go to and speak to, and it will have impact and weight. And that's where we find ourselves. We were created for such a time as this. We're getting after it. We just have to kind of temper back sometimes because I get running ahead going, God, we got to reach the world right now overnight. How are we going to do that and mass produce? And that's not it. It's a balance of, all right, Lord, like literally, let's just do it. Like, pause what you're doing right now. We're on the live stream. Just pause what you're doing. You may be doing dishes. You may be watching TV. You may be wrangling kids. I don't know what you're doing. But let's just pause right here and let's just host the presence of the living God and say, Jesus, Lord, you are God of this place. You are God of your church. You are leader. You are king. Lord, we ask that you would fill us with how you want us to reach our family, our friends. What do you want to say to them? Give us a picture. Give us a mental imagery of who we're supposed to talk to next, who we're supposed to love on next. Maybe it's just a hug. Maybe it's a message. Maybe it's a video. I don't know, Lord. You've gifted us all in unique ways. But we want to be led by you. We want to feel you. We want to experience you right here, right now. Lord, we want to know that you walk alongside of us, that you are in us, you are around us. Lord, that you are at the helm. So King Jesus, have your way. Lord, we feel you. We sense you even now. We know that you're in our hearts. We know that you're moving us. We know that you're motivating us. And we acknowledge you. We ask that you would guide our every step, Lord, and that you would send us to people that you've created for such a time as this. Pray this in Jesus' name. Yeah. Good stuff. All right, guys. We've probably been on here for like an hour, I would guess.
47 minutes?
47 minutes. You guys have any questions? Going to hang out for another minute or two since we've already been on here for 47 minutes. If y'all want to ask anything or have anything you want to say that we didn't get in, ask it. If not, any questions, anything you want us to chat about?
You want to know about?
Otherwise, we'll hop off. I do want to say, Doug, if you're in here, man, I know I mentioned it, but dude, I love the podcast. I don't know how often you're planning on doing that, whether that's a weekly, whether that's an every other day thing, whether you're doing like a podcast and chop it up chunks. I saw a chunk today. I don't know what your plan is, dude, but that was awesome. Just want to encourage you in that. It was amazing. Helen, you are a little ray of sunshine. I like you.
Sweet.
I like you. That's awesome. Well, cool. I don't see anything popping up. Try and give it the old 15-second delay. If that's it, Luke, I love you, man. If you're still on here, Mom, love you. Josh, guys, thank you, fam, for all the support. Amy, thank you. Henry, thank you. All you guys. Helen, good to get to know you a little bit. Let's see who else has been on today. Thank you guys for all your support. Hanging out with us. Genevieve. I think that's it, at least for who commented. And to everybody else who's kind of hung out with us and enjoyed our shenanigans. We love you guys. We're with you. If you need anything, leave a comment down below. I'll get it. We'll be praying for you. I think, we get another one? Weekly. Yes. I love it, man. Sounds like a good plan. Well, stay safe, everybody. We love you.
Love you guys. Thanks for coming.
You want to tell them what we are?
It was good for you to see us.
Do you want to tell them that we're out or
Yeah, we out.
we out, son?